Hi, this is Dan Collins, Editor-in-Chief of Futures Magazine for Traders Exclusive, coming to you live from the floor of CME Group. Today I want to talk briefly about the risk-on, risk-off world and the Fed. The Fed put out its minutes yesterday. Not a huge market, but what we've been talking about over the last year really is when will the fundamentals of the market start moving the market, and that goes for everything. That not only goes for equities, but it goes for commodities, it goes for natural gas and crude oil. And I think we see that happening. Some of the tensions in the Middle East have tamped down. In Russia and Ukraine, we just learned yesterday that there's a surplus of natural gas in Europe, so that the leverage that Russia and Vladimir Putin has over that region is not as strong as it used to be. You have a huge, which tells you kind of the answer. The answer is supply. There's a good supply of natural gas, so that's going to tamp down some of the leverage that Vladimir Putin has. Here in the United States, we've been waiting for a time for the fundamentals to take over. So much of the market, but for equities and all financial products, has been driven by people's expectations for the Fed. In the media, there's all this talk about when they will begin to tighten after they finish the easing cycle, or I'm sorry, the tapering cycle. Well, they tapered more than half of the quantity of bonds they were purchasing in QE3. They're on pace to end it this fall, and people think the second quarter of next year they'll begin to tighten, some even the first quarter of next year. That's a good thing. What we're starting to see, and maybe the market is a little late to look at it, is they have to look at the real fundamentals now. They have to look at growth. Unfortunately, we had a 2.9% decline in the first quarter. Most people think that's an anomaly, which is going to make the first, second quarter GDP numbers extremely, extremely important. And you almost see people are they don't know what to look at because, we just had a sell-off this week because of kind of a reinterpretation of the unemployment report. The unemployment numbers caused the market to rally, and people said, well, maybe they're not that strong. Well, they're going to have to stand on their own, and people are going to have to look at the fundamentals, which is a healthy thing. It's going to help investments, it's going to help manage futures, because it's been very damaged by this kind of risk-on, risk-off world. Risk is not off, but I think we can start to be looking at those fundamental factors and rather how it's going to play with the Fed in determining market direction. At Futures Magazine, we're weeks away from closing our August issue. We'll come out on August 1st, which is our 500th issue of Futures Magazine. We're going to have a great deal of stories from the past and revisit some of them. Some very interesting stories, some breakout strategies that were revealed in futures in the in the 70s and the 80s that are still relevant today. So look for that. We're also going to have our top 10 covers online, so look for that also. This has been Dan Collins for Traders Exclusive.